That's the main thing. Outclassed, outworked, no intensity, no initiative, no agency until we needed to be. We even got ourselves in the same situation that we was in at the end of the first half, at the start of the second half when Luis Diaz scored that goal. And again, no agency, still getting overrun in the midfield, still looking like the team who was trying to hold the lead when really we never had a lead in the game. We never had a moment in the game. From minute one, from the first second, we had issues in that game. I'm playing James Milner, by the way. From
is that his
James
fault,
Milner
though?
starting. James Milner putting his hands out for the penalty, like, and then getting him yellow cards in the first 12 minutes and then not performing to the standards of the football team. It's not just James Milner's fault for sure, because he should not be expected to play to the standards. But Jurgen Klopp does have to be blamed for starting someone who's 37 over someone like Arthur, who in the Italian league has had a pass percentage that's been the best of any midfielder in that league over the past 2 seasons. Not to mention we played an Italian team today. Like, listen, I've been using this analogy on all my streams. I trust my nan to be able to go to a shop, get myself a bag of prawn cocktail crisp, and definitely get myself prawn cocktail crisp, but not salt and vinegar or cheese and onion. The same way that I trust James Milner to do a job every once in a while. But I do not trust my nan to pick up a telly out my room and help me carry it downstairs, because she's me fucking nan. James Milner, on the other hand, the same way I would not trust James Milner to be playing week in, week out for Liverpool Football Club. And I said before on my chat, I want to see Milner gone in terms of a regular playing role in the first team. I want to see Oxlade gone because it just doesn't make sense. More than useless. And then Naby Keita the same. And then we replace those players and get them off the wage bill. And then we use Henderson kind of like the Milner role for the next 2 years or whatever. But we've got to start adapting with the times. Otherwise, maybe not performances this bad, but the consistency of the results that we're getting right now will continue. And that is 100% a fact. And that's pretty much the gist and the majority consensus of what I've got to say there. So, yeah. That's my issue.
What do you think of his performance? Because if we're really honest...
Oh, he was terrible. Let's not beat around the bush. He was absolutely... He was terrible. Honestly, Joe Gomez has put up some of the best centre-back... performances that I've seen in recent time for Liverpool Football Club. And I like Joe Gomez, and I like him for what he is. He's a very, very useful squad option, and he's probably someone that, realistically, we shouldn't have signed him on a new contract. And if we did, it should have been a lot more of a short-term contract, because he should have been the player that we bought for 3.5 million from Charlton, played for a couple of seasons, won a Premier League. He exceeds expectations, gets an immense value, and then we sell him for great, great money. And then use your best players, which is Joe Matip. That's the way we should have utilised Joe Gomez, but it seems that we're going with the approach of having him in the team week in, week out for the next couple of seasons. That will not work when Konate's better than him. There's other players in this squad who, honestly, I see put in, or I feel safer within that backline than Joe Gomez. Now, when Joe Gomez steps out against Everton and has an immense performance, great. But you're playing against Anthony Gordon, you're playing against fucking, who else, Maupai. Like, it weren't that challenging. The second that he had any form of test in this game today, the second is when you saw the problems. Now, that is the problem I've got with Joe Gomez starting. It's not to hate on him. I'm sure he has a big, valuable part of the squad. But if I'm the manager, he's not in my starting 11. And honestly, the closest he gets to my starting 11 is right back, and I move Trent into midfield.
Klopp did say if these players are not committed, he would walk. What are your thoughts? Do you think that may happen?
Let's not get high on crack cocaine. Jurgen Klopp is very, very sound in the position that he's in. He is very sound with bringing us back to the best. He's not just going to leave a group of players that are like his sons in a fucking pile of shit that we're in right now. We will fix this. We will get better. It might not be to the 90-point seasons in the short term. I'm not saying that. But we will get better. We will get back into the top 4 conversations. I'm sure of it. If we can keep these injuries avoided, and if we can get these new signings, and even then we're still banking on a lot, I still believe we go into Saturday with full support of these players, make the noise the loudest you can fucking make it, and let's make Liverpool special for completely different reasons this year, because we don't have excuses to be shit. We have the odd injury, but we don't have any main excuses. So now going forward, let's up the agency as a fan base to be like, right, we've got so used to this team playing fucking great football, but now they need our back. That's what we need to do. We can come on this show all we want and be as constructive as we can be. But if them football players go on the football pitch and prove us wrong, That is all that I can ask for ever as a football fan and Liverpool fan. When you wear the Liver Bird, I can only expect 100% effort, because it's what I would do if I was wearing the Liver Bird. If I wear that Liverpool shirt, whether I'm good or bad at football, I want everything. And it's the one thing that I can appreciate about someone like James Milner. Not good enough, but he puts in everything. It's the one thing I can appreciate, but that's why the manager's got to make better decisions, and these players have got to make better decisions, because it's like, if Salah doesn't... So when Salah missed that chance today, right... When Salah misses that chance, automatically the momentum shifts back into Napoli's favour. We could have made it 2-1, which could have shifted it in our favour. And even though we still probably wouldn't have won, that moment right there cost the team and made their edge drop. And that's the main thing to talk about. The players' heads are just dropping constantly at the moment. And that needs to improve. It does need to improve.
But
would you blame the manager, Alex?
I think he has to take a percentage of the blame. But my if you were to break it up in percentages, it would be 75% the players. Because Klopp has to take some, but at the same time, the players, and I'm going to name, and I don't normally do this, to be honest with you, but I'm going to start naming some names of players who need a big wake-up call. And I might have mentioned them earlier, and it's Trent, Van Dijk, and Salah. I mean, the fact that Trent didn't run, I mean, even Martin Keown, for goodness sake, he was hardly a Maldini himself. Even he's spotting Van Dijk not running to the ball, which is totally unacceptable, considering that 2 years ago we were literally considered as the team that presses, that is energetic, that forces teams into mistake, early doors, kill the game off. And we've just lost all of our identity. We've literally lost everything that we stand for and we're proud of. We've lost it all. But I have to say, Van Dijk, Salah and Trent, I'm saying, and it sounds crazy, but I think we dropped them all on Saturday. I think we dropped them all. I'd rather see, if we can get... I know Konate is a little bit off it, but I mean, I wouldn't play Gomez, so I guess you have to play Van Dijk. But he can't just expect that every single week he can do performances like that. Like, we need Van Dijk to step up.
Van Dijk cost us another goal today as well.
Of course he did. Of course he did. Van Dijk cost us a goal. Gomez cost us a goal, easily, maybe even 2. And Salah hasn't... I think it's 6 goals in 38 games now since AFCON. In all comps, and then not even including penalties. That is... Because if Bobby had that record, would be
embarrassing, is what Bobby. It is. Salah will be embarrassed about that record. I am not talking about my opinion of if it's embarrassing. Mo Salah will be fucking humiliated by that statistic, because it is embarrassing for someone who's been arguably the best player in the league for seasons. It is ludicrous to think that he's going to be happy with the performances that he's been putting in. It's been abysmal. And the last thing I'll say, because I do have to shoot off in a second, and I do just want to say thank you for everyone tuning in and stuff like that. We have to, going forward, it is just a case of making the most out of what we've got, supporting the team the way we can. And Alex, I agree. I think we've got to make some really, really big changes going forward. Get Matip back in the squad. Get Thiago back in the team. Get the players who have not been a part of these shithead performances. Keep Harvey going, keep him strong, keep Fabio strong as well. Keep the people who've been coming off the bench and doing that job. Bring off Salah as a threat off the bench. And if he starts scoring a few goals off the bench, then he won't have to come off the bench and he can start playing some football matches for Liverpool. But right now, from what we're seeing, he is costing us more than what he's adding to us. So that's my conclusion there, and that's the last thing that I want to say. Shame for the results, but I'm looking forward to seeing you Saturday, the firm.